promoting gender equality in triangular cooperation on technical and vocational education and training between Indonesia, Tanzania, and Germany. SSTC TVET. Technical and Vocational Education and Training, or TVET, is often associated with the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM, that is a long stereotype to be a man's domain. In many societies, women are perceived to have less capability than men in the fields that involved logical thinking and complex mathematical equations. This, in turn, affecting not only societal expectations for what women should specialize themselves in, but also women's own interests in these fields. Aiming to reduce these gaps, SSTC TVET between Indonesia, Tanzania, and Germany, with a focus on the leather industry, includes efforts to mainstream gender in its implementation, including a joint development of a study paper on gender mainstreaming on SSTC TVET among the involved stakeholders. The development of the study paper on gender mainstreaming on SSTC TVET was initiated by mapping the existing gender mainstreaming in TVET on the leather industry SSTC TVET involved countries, which identified the following findings. It's important to note that Indonesia, Tanzania, and Germany, to some extent, has collected and compiled sex disaggregated data in the TVET and STEM. The availability of published gender analysis formally by the responsible government units in the sectors, however, remains minimal, making it difficult to identify the exact underlying causes of the gaps and the necessary follow-up actions. In all countries, women are underrepresented in the TVET learning programs and STEM sectors, which, among others, indicates prevailing gender biases that assign women and men into certain stereotypical domains. At least in Indonesia and Tanzania, women are a minority in the number of lecturers in general and vocational higher education. High-level management and leadership positions are moreover more pronounced for men than women. Women's underrepresentation in the TVET and STEM is not merely an issue of different interests and preferences between women and men. It may have larger implications, which are closely linked to deeper gender gaps, such as preservation of gender pay gap and feminization of poverty, primarily due to the fact that STEM is associated with promising high-paying careers. Moving forward, significant adjustments need to be made for a similar program to be considered with gender-sensitive inclusion. The study paper of SSTC TVET, Gender Mainstreaming, suggests the following key recommendations to further strengthen gender mainstreaming in SSTC TVET. 1. A shift in mindsets, awareness, and understanding of gender equality. In order for gender mainstreaming to work impactfully, the program needs to invest in capacity development activities to ensure the same level of understanding and commitment among the key stakeholders. SSTC TVET is a unique program that brings together different key ministries, agencies, and organizations from different countries with different roles and expertise to achieve agreed common goals. 2. Commitment making through institutionalization of gender equality in the program. In order for gender mainstreaming in any future scale-up of SSTC TVET to sustain and produce transformative changes, the commitment needs to be institutionalized and clearly stipulated in the high-level planning documents of the program. In the future, the SSTC TVET could adopt stronger and clearer language on mainstreaming gender equality into the program in its concept of cooperation and framework and results model, with clear definitions and concrete action plans. 3. Innovation and ideas to improve gender equality in SSTC TVET on leather industry. The gender assessment conducted before the program is a powerful tool for any gender mainstreaming efforts that come afterward. From the data and information, the SSTC TVET can be more innovative and gender inclusive while designing its activities to meet the current trend and needs. 4. There is room for the 3 countries to learn from each other's experiences and best practices. Germany, for instance, has launched various nationwide programs to boost women's representation in STEM, including raising awareness on male and female-dominated professions, while Tanzania has allotted scholarship quota for female students to be admitted into TVET programs. 5. Program planning, design, and implementation. The next logical step is for gender to be integrated into every stage of the program early on, from planning and design all the way to implementation, monitoring, and evaluation. It is important for all relevant stakeholders to acknowledge that gender is not a separate standalone issue. 6. Access the right expertise to facilitate and ensure the gender mainstreaming process. The program makes use of the expertise of a gender specialist to help facilitate the gender mainstreaming process. The gender specialist is expected to render assistance in identifying entry points and further integrating them into the program's goals, logical framework, and indicators, as well as monitoring and evaluation. It is important to always be mindful that gender mainstreaming is a team effort. Despite the continuous concerted efforts to promote gender equality, gender gaps on TVET leather industry persists in Indonesia, Tanzania, and Germany. The available data during the study shows that gender pay gap, women's tendency to be engaged in informal and low-paying jobs, female low labor participation rate, and women's low-level political participation. The issues, however, are far from being over. Gender in education, particularly in TVET, therefore remains a priority, and accordingly, any interventions to address the gaps need to be treated as such.